Alrighty. I am live. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, the Millionaire Ladies Mob group. Welcome to anyone that's looking at me on my Big Facts business page, Big Facts with Carmen business page, and definitely welcome to you on YouTube and LinkedIn. Tonight we're going to get into something, right? You've probably heard of the Secure Act, or like many people, you may not have heard of it, but something that was pushed through really late last year during the holiday seasons while we were out shopping and getting ready for Christmas and the New Year's and everything like that. New Year, um, it was pushed through. The Secure Act is was recently passed in December 2022, December 29th, 2022. And in this video, I'm going to break down the new Secure Act. It's called the Secure Act 2.0 and what it means for you and your retirement. The Secure Act, as I said, was recently passed by Congress and has been making waves in the financial community. Because how does it affect you? It affects you and your retirement. But what does it actually mean for you as an individual or as a business? So we're going to do a quick overview of what this is all about. Hello, I'm Carmen Bernard of BIGFACS LLC. And this is Factually Speaking. It's a show that I do every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Um, so that I can bring to you factual information that helps you with anything financial, whether it's saving, budgeting, getting your life insurance, getting your wills and trust, making sure that your retirement is set up, making sure that you're setting up a legacy of generational wealth. Um, so tonight we're talking about you, whether you are now starting out in your career or whether you are looking to retire and ensuring that you can secure your future. So sit back and relax and let's go through so you know all the facts that you need to know. All right, you can book a call with me at any time at carmen10k.com. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. You can find me obviously here on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, even on TikTok. So please subscribe and share that information. If you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay in there. What do? I help people to protect their income, eliminate debt, create a tax free income stream that you're unable to run out and access that tax free, right? I also help you to create private banking and set up a legacy of generational wealth. So let's get into it tonight. All right. So I'm going to be referring to the actual law so that you know that you get facts and nothing but the facts. Big facts. All right. So the Secure 2.0 Act of 2022 is a law that is designed to substantially improve your retirement saving options. Y'all, the secrets to wealth is in our tax laws. It's in the laws that are passed by Congress. We have to pay attention to what they are doing while we are not paying attention, while we are on social media, while we are tweeting and TikToking and Facebooking and Instagramming and whatever else we're doing. They're over there making these laws, and then the rules are in these thick rule books. And by the time we get wind of it, it's too hard for us to go look and see what they're saying or what they're doing. But the Secure Act of 2022 was designed to substantially improve retirement saving options, including your 401k, including your 403bs. And that's right here in the United States. If you're looking at me from any place else, I'm just talking about the United States. This builds on what is called the Secure Act, is the Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement Secure Act of 2019. So Secure 2.0, as I said, was signed into law on December 29 by President Biden. And it was, believe it or not, um, it was a cohesive piece of legislation by both parties, as well as both branches of Congress. Lots of times we see where things are passed and it's just one-sided, but this one, it began as two pieces of legislation, one from the House of Representatives and then one from the Senate. And after both Congress passed their respective bills, the consolidated legislation was included in that omnibus budget bill that was passed at the end of 2022, right? So basically, it was bipartisan. The act contains 92. Did you hear me? 92 new provisions to promote savings. We've got to pay attention. Boost incentives for businesses. We have got to pay attention, and to offer more flexibility to those that are looking to save for retirement. Y'all, remember when we didn't have to worry about, well, not you, but maybe your grandmother? He didn't have to worry about retirement. They went to work, they worked one job for 40 years, and then they retired, and that job was going to take care of them for the rest of their lives with a defined benefit plan. It stated this is what we are going to do. So they didn't have to worry about a 401k. 401ks came in the 1980s. Okay. So the first set of people, um, 30, 40 years later, 45 years later, are now retiring, actually about 40 years later, are now retiring and realizing that 401k didn't do exactly what it was touted to do. So as I said, this Secure Act of the Secure 2.0 Act of 2022 contains 92 new provisions to boost savings, to boost incentives for businesses, and to offer more flexibility to those that were willing to save, that want to save for retirement. The provisions include, and listen to me, automatic 401k enrollment. Automatic 401k enrollment. It also includes an increase in the age for when people are going to take RMDs. Those are required minimum distributions. So if you, and that applies to your 401ks, it applies to your 403bs and any other IRAs that you may have set up, things like that. If the government knows that you've put away those dollars on a pre-tax basis, you didn't pay taxes on what you put into those plans, the government needs to get their money back. He's not going to go without it. And even if you decided that you did not need that money, the government says, hey, buddy, you will have to take that. You will have to take that. You will have to take that. And they're, so now the age before was 72, where you had to take a required minimum out. And if you didn't take out that a required minimum, then you would suffer a penalty, a 50% penalty on top of the taxes. So what does that mean? If based on their calculations that the government did, and it's based on your age and based on the amount that you have in there and things like that, they will say, listen, you need to take out $12,000 a year. And if you don't take out $12,000 a year when you're supposed to take it, well, we're going to take 6,000. All right. And so it's actually important for you to know this. And that age is going to be an increase in that age. So that might be good because now instead of having to take it at 72, the age is going up several times in the future. And I'm going to go over that in a little bit. All right. It also means the Secure 2.0 Act also means significant tax benefits for employers and much more. So let's talk about it again. Let's understand it a little bit again. We said both parties, both chambers of Congress, both the House and the Senate, came together, got this bipartisan bill, and it was based close to equally sponsored, as close as it could be. There were 48 Republicans that signed off on this in the House, and 55 Democrats, and then on the Senate side, there were 6 Republicans and 5 Democrats. So basically, everybody is invested in you being able to save for your retirement so that you are not going to be dependent on the government, right? Everybody's vested into you and your retirement and how much you save so that they can get their cut, because that's how they get money. Where else do they get money? From taxing you. All right. So a Secure Act attempts to accomplish 3 goals. It wants to get people to save more for retirement. That's good. It's a good goal, right? It wants to improve the retirement rules that were already in place, and it wants to lower the employer cost of setting up a retirement plan. So some of those provisions have already gone into effect starting January 1st, 2023, 3 days later, while others will go into effect in 2024 and 2025 and even later. So we'll talk a little bit about that, right? And as I said before, this new statute is packed with 92 retirement savings provisions. And they include, listen up, I'm not going to go over all 92, just having a basic conversation tonight, but they include beginning in 2025, Section 101 says or requires that employers automatically enroll eligible employees in their 401k or 403b's plans. All right. They are 2025, beginning January 1, 2025, employers with more than 10 employees will have to automatically enroll their employees in their 401k plans, in their 403b plans, and they have to participate, or they must enroll them to participate with at least 3% of their salary, but no more than 10% of the salary. All right. And then that contribution is going to go up, can escalate at the rate of 1% minimum every year going forward, up to a maximum, 1% every year going forward, up to a minimum of 10% per year. So 1% per year, up to a minimum of 10%, and up to a maximum of 15%. All right. So important, existing employers or existing 401k plans, businesses that already have a 401k plan established, they're not required to auto enroll new employees. It's only new plans that have to do that. Now, employers can encourage participation with small financial incentives, right? You heard about the match. So they can match so that employees will want to stay in the plan. So although they are required to automatically enroll you, you don't have to participate. You can opt out if you wish, but they have to automatically enroll you, and then you can opt out. And for most people, it's going to be, and they're not going to opt out because most people, they're too lazy to even go figure out about their W-4s and their W-2s and their W-9s until it's time for taxes or something like that. They're not going to do it. So a lot of people are going to end up just going ahead and saving automatically, especially, um, if it wasn't your plan, you're not looking to make sure that you start saving towards retirement and things like that. So a lot of times when I believe, this is just me, I believe that people will end up staying in the plan, in these new plans that are coming up. People are just going to stay in because it's easier to opt out rather than having to do something to stay in. I mean, to get in, you know. I remember having a conversation with one of my nieces a couple of years ago. She is super smart and intelligent and now is doing all great things. We need to have another talk, niece. But I remember having a talk with her one day and I said, listen, does your job offer a 401k plan? You've been there for, such and such a time. By now, you should be able to get that. So go ask them about it. And if they have it, make sure that you are putting in some money up to the match, because if the employer is putting money on the board and say, hey, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3% of your salary in here if you put 1, 2, 3% of your salary in here, then why not do it? That's free money. There's nothing better than free money, maybe except being left in inheritance by a rich Uncle Bobby or somebody. But definitely, um, you want to go ahead and participate in that. If there are any comments, I'm not sure. I can't see any comments as yet, but go ahead and put your comments in there, and I will definitely respond to them. Okay, so like I said, employees can opt out if they wish. Small businesses with 10 or fewer employees do not have to do it. New businesses fewer than 3 years old or church plans or government plans are also exempted from the provision. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the required minimum distribution laws. These are RMDs, right? Lots of people don't realize that these even exist, right? And when they're thinking about collecting Social Security, if they're going to get Social Security, and let's say they have money other places, whether it's in a Roth or something like that, they believe that they could just leave this money here and let it continue to grow if they don't need to take it. Well, the government said, not so fast. We want our cut, on this business plan we made 30, 40 years ago, when we told you, hey, you invest your money, you take all the risk, and we're going to come back and let you know how much we need, how much we want, how much we are going to take in the future. Well, the future is now. So, under the previous laws, retirees had to begin taking a required minimum distribution or RMD at age 72, right? So, the Secure Act 2.0 raises that um, it increases that required minimum distribution age to age 73 starting this year in 2023. So if you are turning 72 this year and you thought that you would have to take it out, you don't. This year it went up to 873. They also are increasing that to age 75 in 2033. I'm not sure the reason for delaying the increase in age, but right now that's what it is. 73 for 2023, 75 in 2033. And specifically, the required minimum age increases. As I said, that increased right after December 31st, 2022. So it started in January. All right. And then it's going to go all the way up to 75 in 2033. So anybody who's turning 75 after December 31st, 2032, these dates, star date, December 31st, 2032. Remember when we couldn't even like picture those days? We're here. Alrighty. They also, there's another section that reduces the excise tax. That is the penalty that you pay on the failure to take RMDs from 50% to 25%. Remember, I said that right now, last year, up to December 31st, 2022, if you bought age 72, you had to take that required minimum distribution, whatever they told you it was after they calculated. And if you didn't take it, it was a 50% penalty, y'all. A 50% penalty. They're going to reduce that to 25%. That's still a whole lot. That's like a quarter, right? Imagine you got your old pizza pie. They're going to take a quarter. But that's still better than when they were taking a half, right? So the excise tax on the failure to further failure to take it is going to be further reduced to 10% sometime after December 31st, 2023, right? So right now it's only going to be a 25%, and they're going to reduce it to 10%. All right, next, they also eliminates the pre-debt required minimum distribution for owners of a Roth designated account in an employer 401k retirement plan. I know this sounds really boring and really dry, but this is things that are going to affect your retirement. This is information that you must know, right? So under the current law, required minimum distributions are not required to begin prior to the death of the owner of a Roth IRA. So when we talked about required minimum distributions, they do not apply to a Roth, okay? But although the pre-debt distributions are required in the case of the owner of the Roth designated account that's in your IRA employer plan, this provision is not going to take effect till 2033, right? For these are for Roth designated accounts, so it's eliminating the pre-debt required minimum distribution. All right, I think it was like you didn't have to do it until like 85 or something like that. So there's also some catch-up distributions. I know if you've talked anything about Roths and IRAs and stuff like that, you know that savers age 50 and above, they allow you to put away a little bit more because you're kind of older and they want you to catch up. So they're going to substantially increase those catch-up limits for 401ks, for 403bs, and 457 plan participants age 60 to 63 That's going to even go up more to greater than 10,000 or 150% of the catch up. All right. Um, these, of course, are for, just simple 401k plans. The limit is increasing from 3,500 to 5,000 for people for people age 50 and above. 60 to 63, it goes up even more, right? Um, they're also increasing the deferral limit to catch up for the catch up contribution at age 50 for either simple IRAs or for 401ks plans by 10% for employers with 25 or fewer employees. Employers that have 26 to 100 employees are allowed to provide higher deferral limits if their employer provides a 4% matching contribution or a 3% employer contribution. So that goes in a little bit deeper into um, uh, that annual deferral rate that you can increase it. Helps you to increase your retirement amounts. Another thing, there's going to be in the Secure 2.0 Act is a catch-up contribution by employees who make more than $145,000 a year, and that is going to also go up based on inflation as well. But of course, it has to be made with after-tax Roth dollars. So you'll be able to, because listen, you cannot have a Roth if you make too much money. It's your money, but you can't save it not in a Roth anyway to try to defer taxes. To have it grow, to have your money grow tax free. There's a qualification income amount. So number one, you can't have it if you don't have earned income. And number two, if you have earned income, but you earn too much, you cannot participate in it. There's also going to be some expanded access to retirement funds, um, um, expanded access to you accessing your retirement funds. So now participants will be able to access $1,000 a year from their plan without that 10% early withdrawal penalty that people used to have to face. So if you had a personal family emergency, um, some kind of family expense, and prior to this law, if you wanted to take out $1,000, $100 would have to go to Uncle Sam because you were under age 59 and at 59 and a half. And now you'll be able to take out up to $1,000 once per year without any penalties. Now, my advice is to start growing your emergency fund so that you don't have to go into a retirement plan for $1,000, right? You should be able to access that in your emergency fund. Start with $5, put up $5, put up $7, put up $10, and build that thing so that if you had a personal emergency for $1,000 or less, you wouldn't have to go to your retirement plan. All right. It also will allow employees to set up a Roth emergency savings account with up to $2,500 per participant. So it's giving us a lot of different ways, giving you lots of different ways that you could save, right? But we've already, we share with you, go back and look at some of the, go back and look. I hope you guys can hear me because I just looked here and I saw it looks like there is no sound. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh my God. Can you hear me? Let me check and see if you can hear me. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go on to one of these things and see if you can hear me. I didn't see anything come through with if you can hear me, but it seemed as if I was my my speaker was muted. That would be awful since I did a whole lot of talking for the last 30 minutes. But let's see, let's see, let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Well, it's too bad now because now that I've touched it, mm, you can hear me now, but you probably couldn't hear me the whole time before. So I'm gonna have to check to see if my audio did pick up in the first 27, 28 minutes, and if it didn't, I have to redo it. I'll have to do it again. All right, so what else? I'm just going to continue hoping that you heard the first part, but if you didn't, we'll redo it. That's all. No worries. All right. So there's also an increase in the qualified longevity annuity contracts. So it used to be 125,000 that you can move into a qualified longevity annuity contract. You guys hear us talk about annuity contracts a lot. Um, but now you can that will be increased to 200,000. So here's the thing though. Annuities are good. They're sold by insurance companies, and they used to have a bad rap back in the 80s. They're not like that anymore, but they're sold by insurance companies, and they're basically the only things that can offer guaranteed income for life, regardless of if you exhaust your money. Depending on how you set it up, of course, you can set it up to get guaranteed income for a specific period of time or guaranteed income for life. So if you had set it up for guaranteed income for life, depending on the amount that you of your annuity, guaranteed income for life will probably be less than guaranteed income for, not probably, but will be guaranteed income for a specific period of time. So if you say, look, I want you to pay me for the next 15 years guaranteed, or I want you to pay me for life. So if you decide now to live for 50 more years, they have to pay you for 50 more years. So that's how annuities work. Um, find out if that's something that would also be good for you. But they have raised that you can move money into a qualified longevity account. That's important because now you can set aside that account for dealing with long-term care, long-term things, and that's increased from 125 to 200,000. So that puts off the amounts that you will have to pay on those taxes as well. All right. It also adjusts the 200,000 limit annually for inflation, and it increases the rule that caps qualified longevity longevity um, premiums at 25% of your total that's purchased. I'm still worried about if you guys were hearing me at the beginning, but it's all good. If not, I'm just going to take it down and redo it. All right. Um Here are some good questions. When will the Secure Act 2.0 take effect? We did say some already began already. They took effect immediately. Some began January 1, 2023, some in 2024, 2025, and even later. Um, for example, we talk about the automatic retirement plan. That doesn't start until 2025, while the required minimum distribution age that goes up from 72 to 73 right now. starting January 1st. And then how does the Secure 2.0 Act impact when you must start taking RMDs? We just talked about that. Um, that's moved from age 72 to now to age 73. And then it's going to move again to age 75 in 2033. And then what does the Secure Act has to do with Social Security? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right? So one of the negatives about the Secure Act 2.0 is the fact that it does nothing to solve the Social Security Trust Fund. And they're telling us over and over that that is expected to run out of money in just over a decade. Does that mean that nobody's going to get nothing? Who knows? Probably not. Probably means that everybody's going to get less, even though what they were expected to get. The government's going to be like, hey, this is all we got. What can we do? So it's on you, people. It's on you to provide for your retirement. Social Security is not going to do it. All right. So the bottom line is that there was a lot of cooperation between the Republicans and Democrats to get this Secure Act 2.0 done. I believe that it's going to be good for some people because some people are not saving at all. They are still living in that bubble or that where they thought that when they retire, Social Security is going to take care of them. Or their 401k is going to take care of them. They're thinking, oh, I have $100,000 in my 401k. When the truth is that $100,000, number one, is not enough. But number two, that $100,000 is not all yours. That 28-30% or more can does belong to the government. All right. So my thing is to advise you to start now, start early, speak with a professional, book a consultation. If you like to know, like, where do I begin? I don't know where I begin. So book a consultation. Be sure to share the live. I will have to redo this if it did not pick up my voice in the first 25 or so minutes. I think that's what happened, unfortunately. I'm still going to be happy nevertheless, and I will redo it. I'm probably just going to tape it and then just put it to run. All right, thanks again for joining me tonight. I do hope that you learned something, even if it was just in the last few minutes. Thanks again and have a good night. Bye.